Hi there, welcome back to the channel. We find ourselves yet again waiting for any new Starfield content from Bethesda, and the game is due for release later this month, well, for those who have pre-ordered. So before any more new information, content and gameplay is revealed, I've taken this opportunity to assemble a second all-inclusive supercut of my Starfield content. It's a comprehensive digest of the features, reactions and breakdowns that I have produced since my first supercut. So consider this your express ride to catching up with everything Starfield, a perfect refresher as we await the next wave of exciting revelations, or simply the game itself is released. But for now, sit back, relax, please like, subscribe and enjoy the ride through what we know about the Starfield universe so far. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I'm thrilled to have you join me once again as we continue our interstellar journey through the tantalising and ever-expanding universe of Bethesda's forthcoming masterpiece, Starfield. This game, with its promise of a vast uncharted cosmos, filled with opportunities for exploration and adventure, is perhaps one of the most eagerly anticipated RPGs of our time. And today we're delving deep into a particularly thrilling and intriguing aspect of this sci-fi odyssey, bounty hunting. So we know for sure that Starfield is going to have bounty hunting, but to what extent? Will bounty hunting be a fully fleshed out feature and game mechanic? How deeply will it be embedded into the gameplay? That's what we're trying to figure out today. We've seen Bethesda do bounty hunting before in Skyrim, Fallout 4 and Fallout 76. Each of these previous titles had their fair share of bounty hunting missions and quests. In fact, some of these games had what are known as infinite radiant quests, which are essentially never-ending bounty hunts. So it's not a far stretch to think that Starfield might take this route. But remember, everything that I'm about to say at this point is just speculation. These are assumptions that are based on what Bethesda has done in the past and what we've seen from the released footage so far. So let's launch into this speculative journey, analyse the evidence we've compiled, and try to construct a clearer picture of the role bounty hunting might play in the boundless world of Starfield. So we've seen that there will be a background that we can choose when creating our character that is specifically called bounty hunting. We've not actually seen a screenshot of what that means just yet, but what do we know about backgrounds already? Well, we know that each background will offer 3 specific perks, along with a certain edge within the Starfield universe. We saw in the Starfield Direct a character who happened to be a professional beast hunter. So we know that they receive a higher payment for their services to hunt wild alien fauna. So having a specific background can yield tangible benefits in the game. It's uncertain at this stage whether not having the correct background could exclude you from certain quests. For example, will only those with a beast hunting background get offered missions to take on some of the more powerful predatory fauna? I don't think that would be the case, but I do think that would be a nice touch as it adds value to multiple playthroughs. So applying these insights to bounty hunting, it's not a leap to suggest that a bounty hunting background could offer similar perks and advantages to the beast hunter background, which may raise the prospect of unique bounty hunting quests that capitalise on this particular background. And if I'm right about this, having missions that are only available for bounty hunting will make Starfield more immersive and personally tailored, in my opinion, which would be great. At this point in the Direct, a wanted trait is introduced, and it is a significant detail, but it doesn't really require much interpretation as it's pretty well explained in the video. The fascinating twist here, though, is that bounty hunters aren't just characters you play, they can also be your pursuers. And I think this underscores the role of bounty hunting in Starfield being a fully fleshed out mechanic. What was also great to see was that these bounty hunters arrived with a impressively large ship. Why would bounty hunters need such a large ship? Will there be bounty hunting specific modules that help players track down their bounty? Another thought is that the sizable spaceships could be used for capturing targets alive. And this is one of the biggest questions that I have about bounty hunting. Will the missions be shoot to kill only, or do we have the choice to bring in our quarry alive, like for example in Red Dead Redemption 2? Can we, the player, also be captured and taken alive to whoever had put a bounty on our heads? The Ecliptic mercenaries in Starfield are an interesting bunch, possibly also serving as bounty hunters. They have a tough, intimidating look, much like the guys who chase after you when you've got your wanted trait. This is kind of similar to the way that thieves in Skyrim would all dress up in the same way, almost like the Thieves Guild had a uniform. And at this point we don't know a lot about the Ecliptic mercenaries, including if we can join them, and their job as mercenaries is pretty close to the role of bounty hunter. Wouldn't it be amazing if the Ecliptic mercenaries were part of some bounty hunting guild that we could join? The other option is the Ecliptic mercenaries might be the main bad guys of the game, and while that may sound contradictory, it's not a stretch to imagine. Picture this: your enemies hiring bounty hunters or mercenaries as expendable soldiers. It fits right into the scheme of things. But if that's the case, it could mean that we might not be able to join them. In one scene, we see someone locked up in a jail cell. It's interesting because this person doesn't seem to be the player, at least not from what I can tell. This implies that this jail cell might be where your character ends up if you get arrested in the game, which adds a layer of realism. Your actions in the game have genuine consequences. But there's more to the idea of a jail cell than just the player's consequences. It could also have implications for the bounty hunting elements of the game. Consider this: what if you could capture your bounties alive and have them kept in these cells? If the game's mechanics support this, it would bring a fresh depth to the bounty hunting experience. You'd have the option to take a more merciful route when hunting your targets, providing a strategic and moral choice to your gameplay. Should you end the hunt quickly and violently, or take the risk and effort to bring them in alive? The inclusion of a jail in Starfield suggests you might just get the chance to make that call. And we can't, of course, forget about mods. No matter how long it takes, I'm sure the modding community will likely create fixes for anything we're not happy with in the game, including the bounty hunting system. At this point in the Direct, the topic of bounty hunting was touched upon.
Maybe you start off with a speedy fighter that's perfect for bounty hunting.
In discussing the range of ships, they speculated perhaps you start off with a nimble fighter that's optimal for bounty hunting. Now, it's important to remember that we should not consider everything said as absolute confirmation, particularly as the speaker was likely not anticipating a granular analysis of their comments. However, this hint does seem to confirm that bounty hunting in Starfield will likely be more involved than simply undertaking randomly spawned kill for credits assignments. The phrase "start off" suggests that bounty hunting might be a profession we can undertake early in our Starfield journey, potentially serving as a springboard to get acclimatized with the game's mechanics and begin exploring further ventures. It seems therefore that Starfield could have bounty hunting intricately woven into the gameplay right from the offset, pointing towards an even more exciting and layered space adventure than we initially anticipated. And so, as we close, I have to say the prospect of bounty hunting, with its potential, intricacies and depth, only adds to my excitement for this game. It's an RPG that encourages us to forge our own paths, to choose our trades, our alliances and our destinies in an expansive, boundless universe. And as we await Starfield's launch with bated breath, remember to keep your eyes open for more updates and dives into different gameplay elements. The final frontier of gaming is almost upon us, and it's time to get ready to chart our course among the stars. Thank you for joining me today. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, take care. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I've got another Starfield video for you today, and we're going to be looking at Outposts. All this information is based off the outpost we saw on the moon of Vectera in the Starfield Direct, so let's dive right into the exciting world of Starfield's Outposts. Before we go any further, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale and flexibility that Starfield offers when it comes to outposts. In this vast universe, you can stake your claim almost anywhere on any planet. After a little bit of exploration, picture this, an unending vista of stars, planets and moons, and you at the helm of your own adventure, free to choose where you wish to lay down your roots. It's a truly grand vision that transforms the way we think about space exploration in video games. The freedom is tantalizing. Instead of being limited to predetermined areas or set pieces, the universe truly is our playground here. We can select a sun-drenched desert planet, a distant moon with an icy terrain, or perhaps a lush, verdant world teeming with alien flora and fauna. Each location offers a unique environment with its own challenges and advantages, adding a thrilling strategic element to the game. But there's more to this than simply choosing a location. Setting up our outpost is a game in itself. We'll need to plan the layout, allocate resources, and manage our crew, all while balancing the needs and the viability of the outpost. Imagine the satisfaction of watching your own outpost take shape, growing from a simple base camp to a thriving hub of activity. On a personal note, I find this aspect of Starfield absolutely enticing. The ability to carve out my own little corner of the universe and build it up from scratch is incredibly appealing. It ties into my love for exploration and creativity, adding a deep personal touch to the gameplay. In Starfield, home is truly where you make it. This game goes beyond the typical confines of base building and allows you to create a living, breathing habitat that reflects your personal style and needs. In this vast cosmic playground, you'll find habitat modules that come in a wide array of shapes and sizes, and each one serves a unique purpose. Imagine constructing your outpost from modules that range from simple living quarters to advanced research labs, storage units, and more. Each module is a piece of the puzzle that, when combined, makes up your dream outpost. You can choose to focus on functionality, aesthetics, or a balance of both. But the level of immersion doesn't stop at merely constructing and managing these habitats. You can also live in them. You are not just an overseer or an invisible entity pulling strings. You, as the player, are an active participant in the life of your outpost. Whether it's taking a well-deserved rest in your personal quarters after a long day of exploring, or mingling with your crew potentially in the communal areas, you'll experience a whole new level of engagement and realism. On a personal note, I'm particularly captivated by the sheer variety of habitat modules available. This feature speaks volumes about Starfield's commitment to delivering an immersive, highly personalised experience. It encourages creativity and experimentation, and it's absolutely thrilling to think about the countless unique outposts that will arise from this system. This isn't just about surviving in the wild expanses of space, it's about thriving and building a home amongst the stars. With the ability to live in these habitat modules, we'll be able to experience the tangible results of our hard work and watch our efforts come to life. In the grand theatre of interstellar exploration, managing resources and personnel is just as crucial as navigating the cosmos. And Starfield, it seems, will handle this aspect with finesse. Let's dive into the meat of the outpost management system, the crew and resources. Your crew and companions in Starfield are more than just supporting characters. They are integral parts of your outpost. Assigning them to various roles and tasks within your base not only brings life and activity to your outpost, but also yields added bonuses. Perhaps you'll assign a capable engineer to maintain the facility, or a botanist to run your hydroponic farms. Every member of your crew has a role to play, and placing the right person in the right position could be the key to a thriving outpost. In my opinion, this feature adds a wonderful layer of depth to the game. It invites strategic thinking and planning, and adds a sense of camaraderie and teamwork. The crew isn't just a group of NPCs, they're your companions, your team, contributing towards the collective goal of survival and prosperity in this vast, uncharted frontier. On top of managing your crew, Starfield also introduces resource extractors. These devices are set up to harvest resources while you're away on your space adventures. This means your outpost continues to grow and function, even when you're not actively managing it. Think of it as your backstage crew working tirelessly behind the scenes, ensuring progress at all times. I appreciate this feature because it gives a sense of persistent progress. Your actions have long-term consequences, and your outpost remains dynamic and active, mirroring the ceaseless nature of the universe around it. Combining resource management and crew assignments creates an engaging gameplay loop. It adds depth to the outpost building mechanics and ensures every exploration, every decision directly contributes to your outpost's prosperity. Building and designing an outpost in Starfield is not just a task, it's an immersive experience that taps into your creativity. One of the most remarkable features that has me truly excited is the new building interface. This system allows a flycam, offering a bird's eye perspective or top-down isometric camera view, providing a tactical game board feel. It's a game changer when it comes to planning out and executing larger constructions for your outpost. Think about it. Looking down from above, you get to view your outpost like a real-time strategy game map. This grand perspective allows you to map out the layout of your larger structures, plan access routes, position defensive mechanisms, and design the overall aesthetic of your base. What's more, once you've placed the big pieces, you can switch back to the on-foot view to tackle the intricate details and decorations. This allows you to personalize your space down to the smallest element. The power to fine-tune the aesthetic and functional elements of your outpost lies in your hands. Personally, I'm thrilled by the system. The blend of macro and micro management gives me the freedom to fully realize my outpost vision. I can lay out the broad strokes from the top view and then add the individual touches on foot. It's a clear indication that Starfield is committed to delivering a building experience that's intuitive, accessible, and above all fun. It's safe to say that this feature has me ready to dive headfirst into the world of Starfield, eager to create and customize my outposts. Whether you're a master planner who meticulously maps out every detail, or more of a freestyler who builds as inspiration strikes, Starfield has you covered. Let's not forget one of the most exciting facets of the outpost system in Starfield, the crafting and research stations. These aspects of the game promise a level of depth and engagement that takes the gameplay experience to new heights. Crafting stations are your go-to spots for creating essential equipment, tools, and potentially some creative concoctions. Imagine returning from an exploration mission with a collection of exotic materials from an alien planet. You could then take these resources to your crafting station and create a range of items from survival gear to weapons or possibly even alien-inspired art pieces, potentially. The possibilities do feel endless. On a personal note, I'm excited about how the crafting system taps into the thrill of discovery and creation. It's not just about finding resources, it's about what you can do with those resources that really stands out. So this game encourages a cycle of exploration, discovery, and creativity that for me is thoroughly engaging. Meanwhile, research stations open up another layer of gameplay. These could potentially allow you to study alien artifacts perhaps, discover new technologies, or maybe even unlock secrets of the universe. It's the prospect of diving into the unknown, of standing at the forefront of discovery, that makes these research stations a compelling feature. I'm excited about the potential interplay between crafting and research. The idea of discovering something new in a research station and then using that knowledge in crafting is a tantalizing prospect. It could create a rewarding gameplay loop where research discoveries lead to crafting innovations and vice versa. Taken together, crafting and research stations add depth and complexity to the outpost experience in Starfield. It invites players to not only survive in this vast universe, but to learn, create, and innovate. So in conclusion, the outpost system in Starfield is a fascinating aspect of the game that holds a lot of potential. From the freedom to set up your base, the variety of habitat modules, crew and resource management, to the innovative building interface, and promising crafting and research stations, Starfield seems to be setting a new bar for games of its genre. That's all for now. Remember to hit that like button if you found this video useful, and subscribe to stay updated on all things Starfield and sci-fi games more generally. Leave a comment below on what you think about the Outposts in Starfield. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, take care. Hi there, welcome back. Today we're venturing Super et Ultra, or as translated from Latin, above and beyond. Quite a fitting title for our next Starfield animated anthology journey, don't you think? Let's dive into the mysterious world of New Atlantis. Our protagonist here appears to be a courier with a package to deliver. No doubt we, as the players, might follow a similar path in the game. And here we get an awe-inspiring vista of New Atlantis. The city's scale is staggering, raising the tantalising question of how many of those towering buildings will house visitable locations in the actual game. We get a glimpse of the Vanguard here, one of the three military arms of the UC, United Colonies, which I've discussed in a previous video, and is our courier protagonist considering signing up. The MAST building, which stands for the Military, Administrative and Scientific Triumvirate, which I've discussed in the past. MAST appears to be the organisation that serves as the governing body for the United Colonies. And then we have the classic death disclaimer, reminding us of the risks inherent in this line of work. Our courier is evidently skilled at his job. The chase sequence is thrilling. Could he be pursuing pirates? Perhaps. We're then taken to a luxurious apartment, signifying that our protagonist is quite successful at what he does. But it's not all high-speed chases and fancy living. Someone's got a taste for danger and the pursuit of credits. The video wraps up with a touch of job satisfaction. Seems like Starfield will offer the chance to sign up for the Vanguard, earn a fair share of credits, and perhaps enjoy a swanky lifestyle in New Atlantis. So what's not to love? Of course, this is just my take on this short animation. Did I miss anything? Is there anything else you would add? That's all for now, take care. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I've got another Starfield video for you. Today, we're discussing a question that has sparked a lot of debates online. Just how big are Starfield's planets? And also, how long will it take for us to walk the entire circumference of a moon or a planet? If you landed on a planet and started walking in one direction in a straight line, how long would it take for you to get back to where you started? Well, obviously, this is a complicated question. All the planets are different sizes, but I think we can make an educated guess using a formula that could be applied to each planet, the formula being based on the gravity of each planet and moon. So let me throw in my thoughts to this debate. First of all, some of the groundwork for answering this question has already been completed. A clever Redditor recently did some interstellar detective work based on footage from the Starfield Direct. They looked at a display on the HUD during the showcase of one of Starfield's moons, Nemira 4A. The HUD revealed the moon's gravity was about 0.4 G, or 40% as strong as Earth's. And they also calculated the visible horizon to be about 774 meters away. And using some mathematics, they estimated Nemira 4A to have a circumference of around 628 miles. Now that is fairly massive, I'm sure you agree, especially considering that we will be walking or jetpacking everywhere. Now, if we compare Nemira 4A with Earth's circumference, which is approximately 24,901 miles, Nemira 4A's circumference is about 40 times smaller. Here's where we need to make an important assumption before going any further. I'm assuming that Bethesda is not simulating different planet densities in Starfield, only varying sizes. I'm assuming that all planets have the same density, because without this assumption, the task and topic of this video would be impossible to answer. But if it is the case, if planet density is the same for all planets, then we can try to make some correlations between gravity and circumference. Taking the initial estimate of a 628 mile circumference for Nemira 4A, we find that its size is significantly less than Earth's. If we extrapolate from this, we can get a rough estimate of the circumference of other celestial bodies, the planets and the moons, in Starfield, based on their gravity. Before we delve into the sizes, it's briefly worth mentioning how time works in Bethesda games. In many of their titles, like Skyrim and Fallout 4, they use a 1:20 ratio for their time scale, or the amount of in-game time that passes for each real-world minute. This means that for every minute in the real world, 20 minutes pass in the game. So just for fun, I'm going to assume a similar ratio is applied in Starfield. As we delve into Starfield, we're not just exploring Nemera 4A, of course. The game boasts an array of celestial bodies, each with unique gravitational forces. Assuming Bethesda maintains a consistent planetary density across Starfield, we can use these gravitational readings to estimate the size of other planets and moons. Let's consider a celestial body with a gravitational force of 0.2 Gs, or 20% of Earth's. With a weaker gravitational pull, we can infer that this celestial body is smaller than Nemera 4A, and based on our previous calculations, we can estimate that it might have a circumference of around 314 miles. Now, what about a planet with a gravitational force of 0.9 G? This planet's gravity is more than twice that of Nemera 4A, indicating that it's larger. And by applying our size and gravity correlation, we could potentially be looking at a planet with a circumference closer to 1,412 miles. And let's not forget about those celestial heavy hitters with a gravitational force of 1.5 Gs. Given the significant increase in gravity, we could surmise that these planets are considerably larger than Nemera 4A. Based on my calculations, these mammoth celestial bodies might have an astounding circumference of about 2,352 miles. Of course, these size estimations are based on the assumption of constant planetary density across all celestial bodies in Starfield, which may or may not hold true in the final game. I guess we'll have to wait and see. However, these calculations provide us with a fascinating insight into the potential scale of the worlds we'll be exploring in Starfield. Now, what does this mean in terms of gameplay? How long would it actually take to traverse these planetary expanses? A planet with a circumference of 628 miles, like Nemera 4A, would take roughly 105 hours of non-stop running to travel around at a pace similar to other Bethesda games, which is around 6 miles per hour. A larger planet with a circumference of 1,412 miles would take about 236 hours of non-stop running to make it all the way around. And if we apply the 1:20 time ratio we discussed earlier, these travel times become much longer in game world hours. It would take about 2,100 hours, or 87.5 days in game time, to circle Nemera 4A, and about 4,720 hours, that is 196.7 days, for the larger planet. Of course, these times would only apply if you were running non-stop. It doesn't account for any interruptions, like encounters with alien life, or simply stopping to admire the view. So while these vast travel times might seem daunting, they also provide limitless opportunities for exploration and adventure. Despite the exciting calculations and estimates, the size of these celestial bodies might not be that significant in terms of gameplay. Remember, the true charm of Bethesda games lies not in the size of the map, but in the richness of content it packs in. Whether a planet is 628 miles in circumference or 24,901 like planet Earth, what truly matters is the depth of exploration, the stories that unfold, the unique environments, and the memorable characters we meet. The sheer variety and detail that Bethesda has promised us in Starfield can easily outweigh the size of the planets. So whatever you make of the estimated sizes, my view is that they do not diminish the potential for profound adventures across a universe teeming with life, surprises, and uncharted territories. After all, we're dealing with a game that boasts 1,000 planets plus, with 10% capable of sustaining life. That's more exploration than any previous Bethesda game. Ultimately, the beauty of Starfield will lie not in the scale of its universe, but in the depth of its worlds, the richness of its stories, and the breadth of its exploration. The size of the planets is just one aspect of this much anticipated space epic. So, there you have it, my best guesses at the circumference of Starfield's celestial bodies, and why ultimately size doesn't really matter. And as we approach the game's release, I'll be interested to see how close these predictions are. Before you take off, remember to like, comment and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, take care. Hi, welcome back, and today we're looking at one of the other Starfield's animated anthology, Where Hope is Built. It's a tale that offers more glimpses into the intriguing world of Starfield, so let's watch it together. First off, we see a ship that appears to be in need of some repairs. And while I doubt that fixing faulty ship parts will be a game mechanic, it certainly adds depth to the world building and sets the stage for the narrative to unfold. And we get another look at Aquila City, the capital of the Freestar Collective, and I can't help but draw parallels with Star Wars here, especially with the hint of a potential quest set off by a broken ship part. Rings a bell, Phantom Menace fans? It's just concept art, but seeing that statue again is a great reminder of the conflict between the United Colonies and the Freestar Collective. It stands as a testament to the war that once was. And look at those mechs. We've talked about them before, but I can't stress enough how fantastic it would be to pilot one of these beasts. However, it's not all grand mechs and towering statues. The story introduces a rather somber note about a boy and the loss of his parents to the war. It seems the war, though ended, still casts a long shadow over those left in its wake. And the cityscape of Aquila City is breathtaking. Built on what appears to be an artificial mound or hill, perhaps, it adds a distinctive feature to the city's skyline. What's that item the boy's given? Possibly some form of credits. And then we have what seems to be a mothballed ship, a relic of the past, or perhaps a beacon of hope for the future. Final impressions? Well, I'm sure someone will dive deeper into the minutiae, but for me, the anthology gives us a profound look at the aftermath of the war and its lasting effects on the survivors. It's a poignant reminder that in the universe of Starfield, even amidst futuristic cities and interstellar exploration, there are deeply human stories to be told. So what are your thoughts? Please do share. Until next time, take care. Hi there, and welcome once again to the channel. I just wanted to share my thoughts in a quick video on something that many people are commenting on at the moment. With just over 40 days remaining until the eagerly anticipated debut of Bethesda Starfield, it has not escaped our notice that there's been almost complete silence since the Starfield Direct from the game's marketing division. This prompts the question, should this silence be a cause for concern? Is this a sign of issues, or simply a component of their strategic plan? Like myself, I'm sure you've likely been devouring every Starfield related update, every news article, post and social media dispatch. However, after the exhilarating revelation during the Starfield Direct showcase and the sprinkling of fascinating insights from a handful of enlightening follow-up interviews with Todd Howard, there has been a conspicuous absence of further updates. And perhaps you've expected or hoped for that by this stage of the launch schedule there would be a continuous flow of teasers to maintain the hype. But instead we're faced with a surprising quietness from Bethesda. The absence of new trailers, developer insights, and even the merest hint of teasing tweets understandably raises a note of uncertainty within the gaming community. But before we jump to conclusions, let's recall that Bethesda's standard practice has seldom involved grandiose, hype-inducing marketing strategies. Recall the pre-launch phases of the acclaimed titles of Skyrim and Fallout 4. Their promotional build-ups didn't hit fever pitch until the launch dates were virtually upon us. This more understated, suspense-fostering approach may very well be the same path Bethesda is following with Starfield, stoking our anticipation with a delicate balance of information and mystery. Digging deeper, it's crucial to appreciate the broader strategy that Bethesda may be leveraging. Starfield isn't just another game, it's a feverishly awaited new IP that has seized the imaginations of gaming enthusiasts across the globe. Bethesda could be counting on this already potent excitement and the passionate anticipation of the community to carry them through this seemingly quieter period. This restrained tactic might serve as a strategic move to avoid the potential repercussions of overpromising and under-delivering, keeping our expectations realistic whilst also offering them the essential space to concentrate on refining Starfield right up until launch day. And it's important to remember, I think, that a subdued marketing presence does not equate to a lack of activity behind the scenes. In all likelihood, Bethesda's dedicated team is working diligently to ensure that Starfield is thoroughly polished and primed for its grand debut. Quality assurance isn't just an ancillary task. For a game of Starfield's magnitude, it is a mammoth endeavour that entails a detailed examination of every aspect of the game: coding, gameplay mechanics, graphics, potential bugs, to provide the stunning immersive experience that Starfield promises to deliver. So should we be apprehensive about the somewhat muted marketing from Starfield? My conclusion is no. Bethesda's previous releases and established track record suggests that this quietness is fairly typical. While we would all appreciate more to contemplate in the lead up to the game's release, the silence isn't necessarily indicative of a problem. It's more likely a calculated choice, or perhaps a sign that the team's energies are fully engaged in finalising the game. As we count down the days to Starfield's launch, the best course of action is patience, maintaining our anticipation and trusting in Bethesda's reputation for delivering unparalleled gaming experiences. As the old adage goes, good things come to those who wait. And in this case, we're waiting for an entire universe ready for exploration. So fasten your seatbelts, Starfield is coming, and it's poised to deliver a truly remarkable journey through the stars. That's all I've got to say on this issue. Do you agree? Are you worried about the lack of marketing for Starfield in the final 40 days or so? Let me know in the comments below. But until next time, take care. Hi there, welcome back. Today we're taking a closer look at the recently released short animated anthology from Starfield. First of all, we'll look at the hands that feeds. There's only so much that we can get from these shorts. It doesn't reveal too much about gameplay, for example, but definitely contributes to the world building. So let's give it a watch and I'll share some of my thoughts. Kicking off, the first thing that strikes me is the breathtaking concept art. I'm particularly fascinated by our first glimpse of the second platform on the right of Neon. Its gleaming structure presents Neon from a whole new perspective, enhancing our understanding of the city's scale. Although the city appears compact, there's an intriguing vertical element to it. I think the visuals are striking here, and they're instantly reminiscent of a cyberpunk aesthetic. Here the towering height of Neon is further emphasised, and I must say the sheer scale is nothing short of impressive. We have pickpockets on the prowl, or just thieves maybe. So yeah, this short doesn't really reveal much about the physical environment, the graphics, but it certainly offers a sneak peek into Neon's culture, perhaps even a hint of the societal dynamics within Neon. And the overall style of this animation could easily fit into the Cyberpunk 2077 universe. It's stylish, slick, and visually captivating. An interesting point to ponder here, could we be seeing a new faction? Perhaps one of the dominant organised gangs of Neon? The visual clues aren't explicit, but there's a sense of hierarchy and power dynamics in play here. Delving deeper into the story, it seems to hint at the climb within Neon's societal ladder. The theme of loyalty or perhaps betrayal for the sake of the faction is quite pronounced. Could it be a hint that players may have to make similar decisions, putting faction loyalties ahead of personal ties? So those are my initial thoughts on this short. What about you? Did you notice anything I missed, or do you have different interpretations? Let's discuss in the comments below. But until next time, take care. Hi there, and welcome back to the channel. With not long to go until the launch of Starfield, and considering the fact that we haven't had much new information about the game since the Starfield Direct, other than the animated shorts, I thought I'd put together a video for those of you that will be playing their first Bethesda game with Starfield. Bethesda games have their own quirks and hallmarks, and I thought it would be worth thinking about them and how they relate to Starfield. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a journey through what makes a Bethesda game so special, and how Starfield might take these hallmarks to the next frontier. First up, we have open world exploration. In my view, Bethesda are the original masters of open world exploration, and their games are synonymous with vast immersive environments where players can lose themselves for hours. Skyrim's snowy peaks, Fallout's post-apocalyptic wastelands, the dense forests of Oblivion. These are the worlds that invite exploration and discovery. Now with Starfield, we know that this exploration is indeed reaching new heights, with the promise of space travel, entire planets with unique ecosystems, bustling space stations, and interstellar travel are confirmed features in the game. Imagine landing on a planet never before seen by human eyes, encountering alien species, engaging in space piracy, and unraveling cosmic mysteries. There are some things that I hope to see in the game that we haven't had yet confirmed. For example, might we see opportunities for asteroid mining? How will space stations function? Will they be thriving commercial centres, or perhaps serve as mission hubs for different factions within the game? Personally, I am incredibly excited about the prospect of diving into uncharted territories. The notion of standing on the bridge of a spaceship, jumping into the pilot's chair, choosing a distant star, and simply being able to go there has me really excited. Bethesda's history of crafting engaging open worlds gives me high hopes that they'll achieve something real special with Starfield. If their past achievements are any indication, we're in for a journey that could redefine the open world genre in the context of space exploration. Next, I want to talk about player choice and customization. To be fair, this hallmark is seen in many games today and is largely really well done. But I think Bethesda truly pioneered player choice and customization. In previous titles like the Elder Scrolls and Fallout series, customization has been about everything from appearance to skills, affiliations, and moral choices. In Starfield, we know that the game will offer a rich character creation process, allowing players to define both appearance and background and skills. And this is confirmed to have a substantial impact on how NPCs perceive and interact with you. Will you be a feared space pirate, a respected scientist, or something entirely unique? The choice will indeed be yours. Starfield is also confirmed to be set in a sprawling universe, filled with various factions and opportunities. Will the affiliations you choose, or the reputation you earn, affect your standing in this complex galactic community? What really excites me most about this particular hallmark is the potential blend of classic Bethesda character development with the vast scope of space exploration. It's a thrilling prospect to imagine how choices and customization will intertwine with the game's ambitious scale. Knowing Bethesda's knack for detailed world building, I can't help but eagerly anticipate how they'll bring these familiar elements to new astronomical heights in Starfield. One of Bethesda's hallmarks that has fueled the longevity of their games is its robust modding community. With Starfield, we know that the new Creation Engine 2 is being used, which could provide even more powerful tools for modders. Imagine mods that don't just alter existing worlds, but create entirely new galaxies or enhance graphics to an unprecedented level. We've seen how mods have added countless hours of content to games like Skyrim and Fallout, and Starfield could be a new frontier for this creativity. What might this mean for players? Well, the possibilities might indeed be endless. From unique spaceships, new species of alien fauna, additional side quests, to complete overhauls of game mechanics. The modding community could take Starfield to places even Bethesda never dreamed of. And if you're someone who's interested in modding yourself, Bethesda's history suggests that Starfield could be a fantastic platform to explore your creativity. The support and encouragement for modding could open up new opportunities for aspiring game developers or simply those who want to enhance their personal gaming experience. I personally can't wait to see how the modding community will embrace Starfield. Their innovation could push the boundaries of the game, opening up worlds and experiences that could make Starfield a continually evolving universe long after its release. Rich lore and storytelling are at the core of any Bethesda game, from the complex history of Tamriel in the Elder Scrolls series to the post-apocalyptic narratives in Fallout. These games have a tradition of weaving deep and intricate tales. With Starfield, they are taking world building to the next level by introducing a brand new universe filled with distinct cultures, political intrigue, and space opera themes. From what we've seen so far, we know that Starfield will have several important factions and groups. I've looked at them in detail in previous videos, but there are factions and groups such as the Vanguard and the Military, Administrative and Scientific Triumvirate, known as MAST, and the Freestar Collective, just to name a few. The Vanguard seem to be a military organisation, possibly one of 3 military arms of the United Colonies. Could they play a role in space policing or military operations? It seems so from the shorts that we've seen recently, the animated shorts. MAST, standing for the Military, Administrative and Scientific Triumvirate, seems to serve as the governing body for the United Colonies. We can only speculate on the political power struggles and decisions that might be taking place within this organisation. The Freestar Collective introduces the possibility of more decentralised and independent groups in the Starfield universe. How do they interact with the more structured United Colonies? What is their role in the universe's economics and politics? We've also seen glimpses of the cities like New Atlantis and Aquila City, representing different aspects of this universe. These elements only scratch the surface of what we can expect from Starfield's rich lore. I, for one, am excited to dive into the stories and histories that make up Starfield's universe. The potential to explore a brand new world with no established lore means that every discovery will be fresh and every story a chance to uncover something truly unique. Let's be honest, Bethesda's games are not always without their quirks. While the creativity and ambition of the games are unparalleled, they sometimes come with their share of unique bugs or glitches. This might be due to the sheer complexity and scale of the worlds they create, which is something Starfield is certainly aiming to achieve. However, it's important to note that the Starfield team has had an extra year now for polishing after delaying the release from last year. This additional time is a positive sign and shows the commitment to delivering a quality product. It indicates that they're not just rushing to meet a deadline, but taking the necessary time to ensure the game's integrity. That said, even with this extra year of polish, we might still encounter some unexpected bugs or glitches at launch. But don't worry, one of the strengths of Bethesda is their collaboration with the community and the ongoing support they provide for their games. If history is any guide, both the community and the developers are likely to be on hand to iron out any wrinkles, quickly addressing issues through patches and updates. Personally, I view these quirks as part of the charm of a Bethesda game. They often lead to unique and sometimes humorous experiences that become part of the community's shared story. While we all hope for a smooth launch, it's comforting to know that the extra time taken and the dedicated support will likely ensure that any glitches won't detract from our enjoyment of exploring new worlds in Starfield. Bethesda is renowned for its deep RPG elements, and Starfield is no exception. It builds on this legacy by allowing players to create unique characters with specialised backgrounds, skills and roles, something that I've looked at in more detail in previous videos. And the choices that we make from an RPG perspective are not just superficial, they're integrated into the gameplay itself. Interactions with NPCs, quests, availability, and even the in-game economy could all be influenced by your character's background, specialisation and decisions. Your reputation, appearance, and even the ship you fly all reflect these choices. As a fan of RPGs, I'm incredibly excited to see how these elements play out in Starfield. The ability to truly shape your character and see tangible impacts of those choices adds layers of depth and immersion. In Starfield, your choices might not only define your character, but the very universe you explore. It's a thrilling prospect and a testament to Bethesda's commitment to rich role-playing experiences. Last but not least, Bethesda's intricate faction and relationship dynamics are a defining feature that we expect to see taken to an intergalactic level in Starfield. The game is set to feature major factions like the United Colonies, the Freestar Collective, the Crimson Fleet, and notably Constellation, a key organisation that is central to the player's journey. Constellation represents the last group of space explorers, and its mantra, for the endless pursuit of answers, hints at a quest for knowledge and discovery. Joining this faction is the player's gateway to the broader cosmos, granting you access to various missions. Other factions such as the UC, a powerful military and governing body, the Freestar Collective, a group of independent systems, and the Crimson Fleet, a shadowy pirate organisation, contribute to a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and political structures. Your character's actions, decisions, and affiliations will most certainly affect your standing with these groups, shaping your experience within the universe. Whether you choose to align closely with Constellation's pursuits or navigate a path through other factions, these relationships may lead to deep alliances or bitter rivalries. The role of Constellation in particular could provide a unique focal point in your adventure, bridging the gap between the unknown and humanity's place within the cosmos. It's a concept that stirs the imagination and promises a rich, dynamic experience in the Starfield universe. So Starfield promises to blend the beloved hallmarks of Bethesda games with fresh, spacefaring twists. Whether you're new to Bethesda or a long-time fan, there's likely something exciting waiting for you in the stars. But what do you think? Share your thoughts and speculations in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more interstellar content. Until next time, take care.